Okay.
All right. Well, we can go live everywhere.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
Okay, so we're trying new things. We're going live on 3 different devices right now. So we're live Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And so we'll be looking at 3 different cameras depending on the questions that we're receiving too. And on Facebook, we've got a new microphone on here. So if anyone wants to let me know if we're too loud on here, let me know too so I can turn that down. So we're going to talk about a couple announcements. First, some classes coming up. I do have a webinar coming up through Zyto. So Zyto is the technology that I use, the hand cradle with the report that gets generated. Every month they have a practitioner or a doctor, someone speak about how they're using the software or just about health things in general. And so they asked me to be a speaker. So that's going to be a live event February 6th. 11 o'clock our time in the morning. If you're interested, it's on fertility and how I use the e-box with my fertility treatments. So you can just go to the Zyto.com and under their webinars you can register for that seminar. Do you want to talk about any classes we have coming up that you can think of?
This week we have Haley's group hypnosis for weight loss, and we have Ronnie's shadow work, and I think this one is about goals.
Okay.
The shadow work class.
Perfect. Those are awesome classes. We've been getting so much feedback. Haley's our newest practitioner here, and she does the hypnotherapy and past life regression, and people are just loving her sessions. So if you want to give a little sample about how hypnosis can work for you, you can come check out that class. And Ronnie's been doing the shadow work, which now she's switched the title a little bit to Embracing Your Light because the shadow work was throwing some people off, and it's a real wonderful workshop about how to embrace all parts of yourself. So those are both great things going on. We always have the yoga going on, and now we have the restorative yoga on Sunday mornings at 9, which I'm always at. I love it. So join us for that too. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Dad. Okay, so my dad is always on. Thanks, Dad. And everyone else who's watching, thank you. So we're going to talk about a couple different things here. We're going to talk a little bit about diet, and then we're going to get into some full moon energy, and then root chakra. So if anyone has any questions about those, please let us know. And as always, if you have any questions about anything at all, even if it's off topic, we'd be welcome to answer those for you. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say about diet is no one likes what I have to say about diet. Because really what I encourage people to do all the time is to find out what your body likes. Find out what foods are good for you. Try to cut out the foods that are causing inflammation or causing you to feel sick. A lot of times, or even when I do my scan, they're like, well, how am I doing? I'm like, I don't know, how are you doing? Tell me how you feel. Tell me what's going on. If we get blood work done, it's like, well, the doctor says I'm fine. But why did you go to the doctor? Because you were having some different type of a pain and you're trying to figure out what's going on. And then when the blood work says, no, you're fine, it seems like, well, then it's fine, but you're not feeling good. So we got to kind of dig a little bit deeper and figure out what's going on. Of all the diets that are out there, I believe the Mediterranean diet is one of the easiest ones to follow. They have great recipes. You can find different forms of protein, whether you're vegan or you eat meat. It doesn't call for a lot of meat anyway, and it's mostly veggies and good fats. And so that's like a good plan to stick around. And then you just have to, it's your body, so you have to watch if those foods are really the foods that are good for you, or if those foods are causing you problems, even though for some people they could be great foods. When you're ever questioning whether a food is good for you or bad for you, I say do a 2-week elimination. So the ones that you usually want to stick with are dairy and gluten. So for 2 weeks, you want to completely eliminate one food group at a time. And then after 2 weeks, you can add it back in and see if you get any type of symptoms. It could be just stomach issues. It could be headaches. It could be joint pains. So you just want to pay attention to your body and see how you feel when you introduce those foods back. So I've done this so many times where I know exactly what these foods do to me. Not that I'm allergic to the foods necessarily, but I can tell that they make my body have to work harder, or that they cause inflammation. I might get bloated. Some signs with food. Usually dairy issues, you're going to have more of the intestinal issues. With gluten, what I notice a lot of people is clammy hands, sweaty palms. That's usually a good indication to try to eliminate gluten from the diet. I'm going to have you, I didn't even know if I told you this, talk a little bit about like the emotional solar plexus kind of stuff that goes along with foods and dieting. And
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to actually say I did the 2-week dairy elimination like last year, 2 years ago, I think, in February. And I felt great. You know, once I added in a little bit after that, but I knew what my body did because of it. You know, I felt like really mucusy, and there comes like brain clouding from the dairy for my body. The emotional stuff with dieting, like in the solar plexus in the gut, I know you've talked about how we have a brain in our gut. So with that, like our brain is saying one thing and our gut is saying other things. So they have this conflict, and you're hungry because your mind is going nonstop. It's going, a lot. And I forgot where I was going with that now.
And so in
But you
Chinese
talked about that,
medicine,
yeah.
your thought energy and your stomach energy is shared. It's the same. And so if you're always in your head, if you're always thinking, rationalizing, worrying, you take away the energy for your body to be able to break down and digest foods. So you have to be able to shut your brain off and calm your mind in order to digest your foods properly. So like a lot of times when I look at the tongue, I'll see like a crack in the center of the tongue. That's usually telling me that there's absorption issues. And a lot of times it is about like calming down, like eating on your way to work isn't a good idea while you're driving. So you just want to be aware that too much worry, too much thinking, too much rationalizing is actually going to really create problems in your stomach, even real problems like leaky gut. The other thing before, unless anyone has, and Ronnie joined, so if anyone has any questions, she's the Reiki practitioner. She's doing the Embracing Your Light workshop this weekend. If anyone has any questions, then we can relay back and forth what people are saying to Ronnie as well. Thanks, Ronnie. Hi. So, where was I going? The nurturing aspect. Okay, so a lot of times with foods and diets and everything that's coming up, the emotional part here is I feel like I deserve this. Okay, so I feel like I deserve this cookie because I worked so hard today. And this cookie makes me feel like I did a good job today. And so what I like to do with dieting is I tell people at first, because I feel like if I say just give up the sugar, stop sugar, it's so bad for your body. And then there's like this sadness, but the cookie's like the only thing that makes me happy at night. The cookie told me I did a good job. And so I say 3 bites. Okay, so 3 bites of anything you want when you're starting it. Of course, we want to get to the point where we can eliminate whatever we know is bad for us completely. But until then, 3 bites with this in mind. The first bite is going to be delicious. Okay, so if I don't have Doritos in the house because we'll eat them and they're not good for us. But if I go to a party and they have Doritos out there, I'll go and I'll eat a Dorito. And that Dorito is the best thing I've ever had in forever. So I'll go to grab another Dorito and I'll eat it and I'll think, oh wow, that one must not have had a lot of cheese on it. So I'm going to go pick a good one and I eat another one. And what happens is I keep eating those Doritos until I can get that same first bite sensation. And it's never going to come. And so we're doing that with our foods. We're getting that 1 bite sensation, and then we're just waiting and waiting to feel that good again. And so by 3 bites, you realize this isn't going to go anywhere. Okay, so I've satisfied my need for that taste, but I'm never going to really reach the thing that I'm looking for here. And once we can realize that we have a little bit more of an emotional attachment to food because of how we're feeling, then it's easier to let those foods go and actually incorporate. And even get like the better foods will taste better once you can drop some of the emotional things that are tied to them. Okay, so just one more thing with the diets. This is like one of our best-selling protein shakes. It's a vegan chocolate shake by Standard Process. Everybody loves that one. I usually use those either as like first thing in the morning meal or in between meals. Another thing is I don't think anybody really eats enough of cruciferous vegetables, and so we have two really good ones here, again from Standard Process that I like. I use other brands here too, but these ones are nice and affordable, very easy, good quality. The Cruciferous Complete I use a little bit more for even like hormonal balancing and detoxing in the body. If anyone has like little red dots, they're called cherry hemangiomas. They're usually on the chest, stomach, or back area of both men and women. It's a sign of estrogen dominance, which is a hormonal imbalance in the body and a liver detox problem. But even taking 2 of those per meal or 2 twice a day really helps to detox that and to balance that from the body. The SP Green Foods is some sprouts in it as well. And so it's great for detoxing, but it's also good for liver, gallbladder issues, joint issues, and eye issues. It's really good for. All right, so if anyone has, let's see, I'm going to just go some of the questions. Do you think immune disorders stem from stomach issues? Absolutely. First thing is that your immune system is based in your stomach. So your immune system is as strong as your stomach is. The other thing with the immune, when it becomes autoimmune, there's usually a little bit more problem at a cellular level in the body. And I'm going to talk about that in some future ones as well. And so we're looking at what's causing inflammation and why things are leaking out. So this isn't just leaky stomach, but leaky cells, which all of those hydrogenated fats, all those fake fats, all those things that are put into foods that make it have a shelf life, make it soft, keep bread soft for like 3 weeks, that shouldn't happen. So that disrupts our cell membranes, and then things leak out. So proteins that are inside the cell that are supposed to stay there leak out. Now the body's own immune system comes along and it finds things that are outside the cell that are not supposed to be there, and it brings it to the liver and it says, we need you to do something, we have an invader here. And so that's where autoimmunity comes into play too. But just in general, your immune system, sinus, allergies, being able to fight off viruses and bacteria, candida, all of that could be better if we had healthier stomachs. Okay, so yes, solar plexus, I think he's talking about. That's where our addictions stem from. So a good healthy stomach and good solar plexus energy will really help with all of our addictive things we're dealing with. Everyone has a vice, you know, so and eating isn't the only one that's out there. Everyone has something that we need help with. Okay. Oh, Daryl, he likes the shakes after workouts too. Thanks, Daryl. Alrighty. And I think that's Mickey on there. Hi. Okay. What supplements? So Cruciferous Complete and SP Complete. Those are the veggie ones for liver function and detox. Those are great. Hi, Jen. Good to see you. Okay, I think there's a lot of shadows surrounding food. Learning to finish your plate. Also, if you eat all your food, you can have a treat cookie. Yeah, it's true. Like we have all of these things that are programmed into our head about food, and so a lot of that needs to be reprogrammed as well to help with a lot of the food issues. Okay. Do you think the average person should go gluten-free without celiac disease? Okay, so the thing is how our wheat is processed here in this country. So when our foods are processed here, they basically take every single good thing out of the wheat plant, and then they bleach the rest of the crap, and that's what we eat. And so our wheat, it just isn't healthy no matter what, because everything that's healthy about it gets taken out. If you're, are we okay?
Look, you're dead.
Oh. Dad, hold on. Okay, if you go to another country, like if you go to Italy and you eat their wheat, their products, they're healthier. And so people aren't going to be as sick when they eat it. So you can see there's like symbols, I think, on the wheat packages when they have more, all of that stuff isn't removed. I don't know what that is. I think it looks like a wheat symbol on it when it's like a whole wheat product. You just want to be better educated on your wheat products and make sure that you're eating better sources of your grains in general.
I do sprouted grains. You can find them. I do Ezekiel bread. I know you've eaten that.
Mm-hmm.
If you toast it, it's good. I've gotten used to the taste of it, so I don't have to toast it anymore. But that's really good if you're looking for alternatives. They keep that one. That you can find anywhere. They've actually gotten a lot more brands over the past couple of years of different kinds of like sprouted whole grain types of bread. But it's important that you find, like, if you're trying to get into something a little bit more healthier, the sprouted is important. That's the important word to look for too.
Mm-hmm. Shannon is on too. Shannon does the sound healing, and so if anyone has any questions for Shannon, we'll pass them on to. What are your thoughts about mucus in regards to the diet? So this is another thing I always tell people to look for when they're talking about paying attention to see what foods are good for you. If you eat something and when you swallow or after you're done eating it, you feel like you have to clear your throat, you have like a little throat congestion, it's not a good food for you. It's activated your lymphatic system, and now you're going to have more sinus issues because of that. Same thing with a little runny nose, and some people even notice like the clogging in the ears. And so you want to try to avoid those foods. So even if I make the kids gluten-free pancakes and I eat one, I'll get a runny nose. It's just too many carbohydrates for me. I'm better to do protein and veggies. And so you want to try to avoid those foods, and if that's an issue for you, then you want to try to use some herbs like myrrh that help to break that down, along with like activity and other things to help. The two systems there are spleen and lung, and those are the systems that you want to help boost if you're having those types of issues. And can a little tequila help? Only if you're my dad.
Everyone's talking about tequila now.
Don Julio, that's so funny. Okay, so all right, we're gonna jump on over to our next topic, but of course we will answer any questions anyone has about diet or anything else. I'm gonna hand it over to Melissa and have her talk a little bit about this really awesome full moon that's coming up. Don't miss it. Really be a part of it and observing of it. So go ahead and tell us about that.
All right, guys. So this is going to be a full-blood supermoon eclipse. So we've got a lot going on. Some things I've been feeling with it is staying grounded. I think if we stay grounded during this time, we won't get confused. We're not going to be thinking before we speak. Some crystals I have gathered for that, for grounding in specific, is garnet. We're going to go across 3 cameras. I love garnet. Garnet is one of my favorite grounding crystals. Also fairy crosses. And these all have other properties too, but for, oh, and I forgot to smoke quartz, that's okay. They all have other properties, but for the sake of this Facebook Live, we're just going to be using them for grounding. Smoky quartz, which I forgot up front. That's a great grounding one. Moss agate. Moss agate is also a heart stone, so that'll help ground the energy of the heart. And petrified wood. So the full-blood supermoon eclipse is going to be in Leo this month, and Leo energy is very strong. It's very look at me, hear me, see me. So the energy is going to be pretty intense and unstable is what I felt like. So with this, that's why it's important to be grounded, because we're going to be challenged a lot with this, with all of this energy coming up, and it's not a bad thing to be challenged. We just want to make sure that we're acting from heart and not from the more dense aspects of solar plexus energy. So citrine is a great one to use for that. I didn't bring any back here. But we want to be remaining present and aware so that we can think before we speak. And I wanted to stress that a couple times because with all of the energy going on right now in the solar system and for us, a lot of things are going to be thrown at us. So if we are all up in our heads or we're not bringing all the energy down, we're going to get confused and we're going to be saying things that we don't really mean, but maybe it's just stuff that has been coming up and we haven't had time to process it. So some things for that are the blue chalcedony, which I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's how I say it. And I like this one. It's got a really soft energy and it helps you with throat chakra. Lapis lazuli, and I've been thinking about this one so much lately. I know I love this one. And labradorite, of course. Labradorite is a great perspective stone. So it's going to help us, stay in who we are and keep a grander perspective. We're not just going to get caught in our emotions. This is going to be the last eclipse in a 4-eclipse cycle. So it started in February 2018, and this is going to be the last one of that. So we're going to be seeing a lot of things coming to an end, lessons coming to an end, themes coming to an end. We're going to be...
I'm going to have you do some grounding mudras for me. So
Sure.
Take
Good.
it there for a second.
Okay. So it's going to be a lot of transformation and change. So crystals for that, I always love blue kyanite. That helps us to not only clear the energy, but change it into something of a higher vibration. I like selenite for that too. Selenite clears everything. And we're going to have access to higher vibrational energy, and our connection to our higher self and the higher vibrations is going to be stronger at this time. So some crystals for that. I like amethyst, and this is a crystal-shaped stone. It's an angel. We have these here at the shop. I like rose quartz for that too. There's another angel. And this one I just recently started working with. It's called amphibole, and I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I say it.
Well, Melissa says it, so that's how we say it.
In Melissa's dictionary. This one is really
So
cool.
pretty.
It's a calming, like peace, tranquility kind of stone, and it helps connect to higher self. We have the selenite for higher connection. We have moonstone. This one's the rainbow moonstone. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, that's so pretty too. Awesome.
Rainbow moonstone is an intuition crystal, and I always recommend using moonstones during the full moon. You really get to kind of like reap the benefits of it. And lepidolite. Lepidolite is a calming, higher connection crystal. And you can also use, oh yeah, I did the amethyst, right? Amethyst is a good higher connection one. All right. So I picked a couple different crystals for this full moon, and I was really feeling the tiger's eye. Any of the tiger's eye colors too. There's 3 of them. There's the regular tiger's eye. This is a great protection, grounding.
I love
Yeah. There's the blue tiger's eye, and that is calming and helping you to go with the flow. So I think this one is really great for right now. And then there's the red tiger's eye, which is a motivation sacral root stone. And these are all very grounding as well. We have the moonstone that we saw. I like the apatite. Apatite is called a dual action stone. It helps clear away any confusion, and then it brings in higher vibrational thoughts. We have the labradorite, which you guys saw. Just give you another little glimpse of it. Aventurine. I've been working with aventurine. I really like this one. Aventurine are great for manifestation. So I think, like during full moons, especially when we're clearing out, we're releasing Start thinking about what you want to bring in too, what you're looking to attract. Lepidolite came up. And you saw that one. The garnet came up. It's just this one. This is the garnet. And this is like primordial energy. And then the amphibole. And those are my crystals.
These are good ones.
Awesome.
I do think with this moon, working with the crystals is going to be, you're really going to feel the effects of the crystals. I kind of asked just for some information about this full moon, and I felt that we're going to feel a lot of like pushing and pulling, like magnets. And I think that's also going to like take good care of like your phones and your computers, like any kind of like devices I feel might act a little funny if you yourself are not grounded in your energy. And I also think that we're going to really be, 2019 I feel we're going to be downloaded a lot of information. And so using those crystals like the amethyst for like stronger, higher connection is going to be great. But we're going to start seeing like things in relationships, like in people, like, oh, I never knew that about you before. I never really saw that in you before. And as we pay attention to that, we're also going to like allow and open up this in us things that we've never really shown before and things that we've never really expressed before. So it's going to be a really great year for relationships with others and relationships with ourselves if we allow it to go there and can kind of get over any conflict that may arise because of that. Because sometimes when you're not acting like you always do, it makes people nervous or might create some anxiety, tension, because we're afraid of change. And so a lot of the energy right now has a lot to do with shifting and change. So yoga is great for being more flexible and open for all that information coming in. And one of my favorite mudras, I want you to do your peace sign mudra.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one I feel like instantly grounds people. When we're getting like overwhelmed, I think we forget, like it could be so simple to ground your energy. Energy moves through our intention. So if I just sit and say ground to the center of the earth, like it just has to. So we could use crystals to help with that. We could use mudras, anything to help make our intention stronger. But that's all it really takes is I say it and it happens. But we have other things to help us when we're feeling like not powerful enough to make those things happen. So it's show me the mudra.
All right. So hi, I jumped in. My name is Mika. For those of you that don't know me, I teach yoga here. Ronnie asked me to do some grounding mudras. So some mudras are hand gestures, and they just have a lot of power. They say that the power is all in your hands. So just like Ronnie was saying, we can direct the energy from our hands to ground us. So if that's our intention, to ground. So Bhu Mudra, B-H-U, is a grounding mudra. You can do it sitting in a chair. So if you're sitting on your couch or wherever, just make sure that your legs are uncrossed, your feet are on the floor, and all you do with your hands, so you make like the peace sign, like this, and you have your thumb over your ring finger and your pinky, and you're just going to go down. And so you can either touch the earth, you can touch your yoga mat, or in a sitting position like this, you can bring it right onto your thighs. And so once you do that, you just rest your shoulders, chin parallel to the earth, and you just take a few deep breaths here. And I know right away when Ronnie said she did this mudra, she felt that in her feet. She felt that energy right in her feet and almost like pulled you down, almost ground you like that. So that's a really cool one. Bhu Mudra, B-H-U, like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, I just want to go back. I know Shannon asked one question.
Okay, I'm going to go get the Instagram.
Okay. Question about diet for your blood type. I do feel that there's a lot of truth to that. Even some of like the, the Ayurvedic, where it's like the Pitta and the, so I think there's like, again, but these are like guidelines. Everyone's bodies are different, and we're still like, we're made up of a lot of different, I think like a lot of that is assuming like that we're from one area. And so with all the genetic influences we have in our bodies right now, I still think anything is a good guideline. But you have to practice it in your life, and you have to let your body tell you is that the one that feels good for you. So play with different diets add things in, take things out. But like my goal with everything, with everyone, is don't let something else tell you if that diet's good for you. Like, listen to your body, feel it in your body. Say, wow, I sleep really good when I eat like that. I have better energy. I don't have as much pain. Like, let that be your guideline for what diet is good for you. Hi, Joyce. Joyce is back with her iPad, back on Facebook. Welcome back, Joyce. Okay, my birthday is February 2nd. I'd be surprised with a gift box with all of these. Well, it won't be a surprise if I tell you. Happy birthday, Shanna. We'll see you soon around your birthday. Okay. Nikki Sophia says hi.
Hi, guys.
Okay. Oh, the mudra class. Jen like that. We are going to have another mudra and meridian class coming up called Chakra Through the Ages. So we're going to be using some mudras to activate chakras, and we're going to talk about like the kinds of things that you go through at certain ages based on the chakra that you kind of live in at that moment. So there's going to be a part 1, part 2 coming up for that class. We didn't cement a date yet, but that will be coming up, so look for that too.
And then I have on Instagram, hi Prima, we have a question. So going back to the stones, how do you use them, and what do you do with the stones and the crystals?
So with the crystals, it's going to be different for everybody. I like to feel them, so I hold them, I wear them. If I'm sitting, watching TV, I put them on my head. I rest them like on the end of my shirt right here, just to kind of keep them in my throat. I sleep with them. So it's really going to be whatever is the most comfortable to you. You can keep them around you, but the whole point of it is to make sure that you are seeing them and at least like connecting with them. So something physical, because they are physical little reminders here. You can wear them in jewelry. We sell cages here. You could do whatever you feel comfortable doing. There's like crystal Reiki that we offer here. You could do pretty much anything. You can keep them in your pockets, you can keep them in your bra, in your sock, in your shoe. Whatever you feel comfortable with is going to work the best for you. And with the crystals, I can give you all these recommendations, but it's whatever you're attracted to at this time. These are all crystals that I've been working with that I am comfortable with right now. They're ones that have just caught my eye. They're ones that I just felt like drawn to. So that's the best way to use them, is to kind of listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to what's going on in your mind. If you don't know, you can Google, crystals for if you're feeling lethargic, crystals for lethargy, crystals for motivation, anything like that. So that's how I use them.
And then the other question we have is, what stones can help with relationship development?
Emeralds.
Yeah.
Emerald is a great stone. I actually picked this one. I didn't even get to show you guys because I forgot about it. This is rhodonite. This one helps if you feel like, and we always talk about rhodonite. So I like to say that Veronica's definition of rhodonite is, it's the stone that helps heal scar tissue. So this is great for kind of releasing old patterns from old relationships to attract new loving ones. Rose quartz always is a great relationship stone. And any of the heart chakra crystals would be great. I'm thinking something else green. So you could do aventurine. Aventurine attracts opportunities. So if your intention is for, a new relationship, the aventurine is going to help you attract that.
You could also use the orange crystals, which are for the second chakra, but I think like the point here is like with relationships, I think we think sometimes we need someone to love us in places that we're never loved. And the truth of the matter is we will never let anyone love us anywhere that we don't love ourselves. We consider those places unlovable, and as much as we would love someone to love us there, we won't let them in. And so using the crystals for self-love will actually help. Once you love all of these places in you, you allow others to love you there. No one has to fix you there. No one has to love you there. You just have to figure out where you're not allowing yourself to be loved love it so that you'll let others be a part of that too. Okay, the Ayurvedic doshas. Thank you, Shannon. It is true, we should charge them outside during a full moon.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You can put them outside, on a table, or you can put them on the ground. You can use selenite to charge them, but yeah, you get a little bit of a boost with the full moons when you put your crystals out there with them.
And so, like, the full moon, like, in general, when we're not talking about certain things that are going on right now, the full moon in general, to me, is like, here, like, I'm putting this out, I use this a lot, I've released a lot into here, and now the full moon comes and, like, takes it all away for you so that you've got a brand new one to work with again. So, and we can just do that with ourselves too. It's just like stand out there and like let the moon take it. Just be out there and be open for it to all get released from the body. The reason why people go crazy in a full moon is because they're not letting go. They're holding on. They're like, no, what's that? Keep that. That's mine. You can't take that. And the full moon's like, you don't need it. Let's take it. This isn't you. This is not who you are. And so when we have resistance during the full moon is when we're going to notice a lot of these issues during a full moon. So with the full moon, be open and utilize the energy. It's saying, give me all the crap. Give me what you're not. I'm going to take that away so you can fill up on all the stuff that you really want. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Ma. Okay, I love the crystal pendant you're wearing. Do you carry these in the store? I think that's yours that they can see. The kyanite. So we wear a lot of Rita's jewelry. And so, yes, we do sell Rita's jewelry here at the store. And she does shows every once in a while where she brings a lot more of her things. And so if you ever see on our calendar, we make announcements on Facebook of when she's going to be here. Rita Schultz, Daydreamer Jewelry. She makes really awesome things. They're all handmade. They're all unique. Come on in, Sissy.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay.
But yes, come check out the jewelry. Absolutely. Let's see, what was that? Let's have a full moon party. You should have a full moon party. Everyone should have a full moon celebration. It's Monday, right? 21st. I think it's Monday. Shannon's moon day. Okay. How does one let go? By Gracie. Oh, Gracie's asking me a question. My daughter. Thank you, honey. So I think when we're letting go, you first have to realize what are you holding on to. And sometimes we don't know. But like think even if you have like neck and shoulder pain. Like if you don't even know what's causing it, like how about just ask that I want to let go of my pain. I want to let go of my headache. I want to let go of being mad at that person at work. Like whatever it is, just set the intention. And once you set that intention, you just kind of ask, like with the full moon, you can ask that. But even when you're not using full moon energy, we have guides, we have anyone to call upon. We have the crystals that can help do that for us too at any time. You just want to kind of ask to let your body feel free and open to receiving new information and not getting stuck on old things, old patterns.
And I would say a lot of that is your breath too. So if you're holding on to something, you're going to notice you're even holding your breath. So you're going to notice those short breaths, something where it's not a fluid breath. So if you just focus on your breath and just take a long exhale, nice deep inhales, you'll notice that you'll let go too with that intention. So that's it too.
Great question, Grace. Thank you. Hi, Nikki. I don't know who that is. The girls, though.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, Mom would always say to make a wish on a full moon. Yeah, and I think Haley and her boys open up an empty wallet, right, on a full moon, and then they get money in there after the full moon. Yeah, and so do you want to answer a little bit on, like, I know, like, on new moons, too, I would say, like, on a new moon, you set, like, the intention for something, but, yeah, why not make a wish on a full moon? Because basically what you're saying, too, is, like, if I want something and I'm not getting it, why? Like, I'm full of all this stuff that's, like, occupying space. So if my wish, my intention is I really want to see something, then I let the full moon, like, make room for it. I think that's beautiful.
And we also have, just like sun salutations in yoga, there's moon salutations.
What?
So, hey.
How come we haven't done this one yet?
So how about on our YouTube channel, the night of the full moon, we'll do some moon salutations. So look out for that on our YouTube channel. I'll post it, yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah, they're nice. They're calming. They're
Okay,
really
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So I think we kind of covered some root chakra within the presentation. And if anyone else has any questions, please let us know. The girls, Nikki's gonna go check that. Can you read it or?
Sorry. It's okay. I got it.
The only other thing I wanted to say is, and I don't know who's watching where, but around here the weather has been not as cold as it usually is. The trees, I felt like, were really confused. I know it's not good when it's too warm and the trees don't get to really go into, like, their deep slumber. And so the one day I was driving, it was 40-some degrees, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the poor trees. They're so confused. But we have such a relationship with nature and the trees, and so when they feel anxious and confused, we feel anxious and confused. And so I've seen a lot of things, because the energy's not grounded, the energy gets, like, stuck up in here in the body. And so I'll see, like, a lot of thyroid and neck stuff going on, but it's like where the mind can't calm down because the body's not grounded. And so, like, I was thinking at first to help ground the energy with the trees, and just concentrate on grounding. But I'm feeling too that, like, I think things are all planned and things are all for us. And so right now I feel like maybe there is some stuff at the surface that we just need to look at a little bit. Like, we're given this opportunity. Right now we're supposed to, like, go deep, deep, deep within ourselves. But something's going on to say, like, no, like, we're not going to go so deep yet because there's some things that we need to resolve here, finish, complete. And I think when you said that this is the fourth, the last one. And so I feel like that makes better sense, that, like, let's really get rid of, like, this cycle of things before we go deep and find out what else we have to learn on a very individual basis. But right now there's all this stuff at the surface. So I would go, and we've been extremely busy here for January, but I would really take advantage of that, whether it's a Reiki session, a sound session, a meditation, the acupuncture, massages, cranial, anything, star sessions, yoga classes, anything to help you really kind of get out what's that stuff that is kind of lingering on the surface that's preventing us from being able to go deeper and ground a little bit deeper.
Ron, can you just explain the topic again, just for people who just came in, of the class that we're doing right now?
Okay, we're actually going to be ending pretty soon, but the things that we were going over, and that if you still have any questions about anything about diet and nutrition, I'm going to be talking about detox more in the spring, because that's a better time for the body to detox. So right now I wouldn't be crazy into any types of detoxes. I would really just be looking at nurturing foods for your body. The vegetables are the best way to detox right now. So just by eating your cruciferous vegetables helps your liver and gallbladder naturally detox. You're not asking too much of your body with those. You're actually just supporting it, which is what we want to do. The other thing was the full moon. We're still going to have things posted on the full moon. I'm sure Melissa's going to write up a little thing on crystals for us so that we have that for the full moon.
Yeah, I'm going to do like a little ritual too. I'm going to do a little research and see what a good little ritual will be for everybody to do with this full moon energy.
Oh, great.
Poppy's full moon party.
Yeah. Get ready for the party, Poppy.
No tequila, though. Or
Not till after.
after the party.
After release.
Ma says, sending love to all three girls. So thank you, Ma.
Love you, Ma.
You're the most beautiful, Ma. Okay, and thank you everybody for joining us. Thanks for your questions. remember, you can still ask anything, and we will respond to those as well. And we will, we now have the YouTube channel that we're starting to put together with some videos, and so
So please join our YouTube channel and just hit subscribe and turn your notifications on, so then you'll know if there's any new videos. We're actually going to be putting a lot more videos on there. So free meditations, messages from the practitioners. If practitioners want to put a video, that's where I'll be putting in the moon salutation. So definitely join and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that's on the website and also on Facebook.
Great. Okay, thank you so much, Jen. We think you're amazing too. Make sure there's non-alcoholic tequila. That's right, Shannon. Thank you so much. All right, guys, have a good one. Happy full moon.
Oh, Jake said, I love you guys.
Oh, love you guys.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.